Example 4. Find the total surface area of this cone. The total surface area of the cone can be found by adding the area of the base and the area of the lateral surface. The base is a circle, and we know the formula for the area of a circle is a sub 1 is equal to pi r squared. Substituting the given value of r and using 3 1400ths for the value of pi, we can write a sub 1 is equal to 3 1400ths times 5 squared. Then solving for a sub 1, we find the value of a sub 1 is 78 5/10 square centimeters. In order to better visualize what the lateral surface of the cone is like, think of making a vertical cut from the edge of the base to the vertex and then unrolling the lateral surface. We see that this lateral surface is actually a part of a circle with the radius the same length as the slant height. We will use this formula to calculate the lateral surface area of the cone. The lateral surface area is equal to 1/2 the product of the circumference of the circular base times the slant height. Thus, the lateral surface area of this cone is 1/2 times 2 times 3 1400ths times 5 times 13, which is 204 1/10 square centimeters. The last step in finding the total surface area of this cone is to add the area of the base and the area of the lateral surface area. This gives us the total surface area equal to 78 5/10 plus 204 1/10, which is equal to 282 6/10 square centimeters. Example 5. Find the total surface area of a sphere with a 6-meter radius. Because developing a formula for the total surface area of a sphere is not a simple task using the mathematics that we have covered to this point, we will just accept that the formula for the total surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times r squared. Now that we have a formula, it is simply a matter of substituting 6 for r and solving. Thus we find that the total surface area of a sphere with a 6-meter radius is 452 1600ths square meters. Example 6. Find the total surface area of this composite figure. We will begin by identifying the basic solids that make up this figure. The top is a half of a sphere or hemisphere, and the bottom portion is a cone. To find the surface area of the hemisphere, we will calculate the total surface area of the sphere and then take 1/2 of that value. The formula for the total surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times r squared. Substituting 4 for r and using 3 1400ths for the value of pi, we find that the total surface area is equal to 4 times 3 1400ths times 4 squared, which is equal to 296 square inches. Because we have a hemisphere instead of a sphere, remember to multiply 296 by 1/2, which gives 148 square inches for the surface area of the hemisphere. Now we must find the lateral surface area of the cone. We do not need to calculate the area of the base of the cone since it is not a part of the surface area of the figure. The formula for the lateral surface area of the cone is 1/2 the product of the circumference of the circular base and the slant height. Because we're not given the slant height of the cone, we will need to calculate it. Notice that the slant height is the hypotenuse of the right triangle formed by a radius and the altitude. Therefore, we can use the Pythagorean Theorem to find the length of the slant height. Substituting 4 and 8 for the lengths of the legs, we get 4 squared plus 8 squared is equal to c squared. Solving for c and keeping only the positive root, we will find the length of the hypotenuse to be approximately 9 inches. Thus, the slant height of the cone is approximately 9 inches in length. Now we are ready to use the formula for the lateral surface area of a cone. The lateral surface area of the cone is equal to 1/2 the product of the circumference of the circular base and the slant height. Using 3 1400ths for pi and substituting 4 for the radius and 9 for the slant height, we find that the lateral surface area of the cone is 113 400 square inches. The last step is to add the surface area of the hemisphere and the lateral surface area of the cone. Thus, the total surface area of the entire figure is 148 hundredths plus 113 400ths, which is equal to 213 52 hundredths square inches.